So you're thinking about moving to Bend, or maybe you're already here and you're curious about a new subdivision to take a look at, a new old subdivision, if you will. Ponderosa Estates. We're going to be touring this subdivision today. It's probably 30 years old, but it's right in the mecca of a bunch of new construction. That's a brand new library going up right there on the other side of the street, 100,000 plus square feet, near a master plan development unlike any other Bend has ever seen. So if you're curious to learn more about a very charming neighborhood that's been established on a very up and coming side of town, southeast part of Bend, stick around. We're going to be touring Ponderosa Estates right now.
If this is your first time on the channel and you'd like to know everything there is to know about living, eating, sleeping, playing, the good and the bad of Bend, Oregon and the surrounding areas, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about what's going on here in Central Oregon. My name is Zach Nutter. This is Ryan Rudloff, both licensed brokers with eXp Realty in the state of Oregon, and we've lived in Bend for over 30 years and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We'd love to help you make the smooth move here to Bend. As you can see, the sign's kind of under construction here because this whole area, they've built a new roundabout here. So Bend is like Roundabout City, USA. So they're doing a bunch of work here to accommodate that massive library and huge development over there. But Ponderosa Estates is probably one of my favorite neighborhoods in Bend. It is huge ponderosa pine trees, a ton of other trees, old growth, and large lots with unique. Each house seems like it's a little unique. It's not one that every other house looks the same. Probably about 20, 30 years old, and it just is so well maintained. If you look at like all the bushes and all the yards, like there is a lot of pride of ownership in this neighborhood. That's what makes it one of my absolute favorite neighborhoods here in Bend.
Totally, and we're talking about location. This used to be right on the edge of the city limit line here to like right behind us is 27th Street. That was basically the edge of the east side of town. It's been further expanded now, several hundred feet, maybe 1,000 feet to accommodate for Stevens Ranch, which is going up right now on the other side of 27th. But this here is a very well-kept neighborhood, just like Zach was discussing here a second ago. But these homes that we're going to be zipping by here, you'll get a feel for what they're all about. And about 20, 30 years old in that range, but just absolutely well-maintained homes with great space in between neighbors. The yards are fantastic. The architecture is great as well. And most of these homes, if they haven't been updated, they will be updated. These folks that live in this neighborhood absolutely love it here in this part of town, which is booming, by the way.
So there's not a lot of homes that have come up for sale in here recently because it is very desirable. In the last 365 days in Ponderosa Estates, there were 3 home sales. The lowest being mid 900s and the highest being 1.3 million. Houses in here are going to range from probably your 1,600 square feet all the way up to some probably 3,500 square foot homes. There are some large homes in here. Lot sizes are going to be at least 1/4 of an acre up to probably 3/4 of an acre. And as you can tell, I mean, there's just beautiful trees. Each house has great setbacks from the other house. It's just a lot of space. And you are right in town. That's the nice thing. Ryan was talking about this, you know, was the far edge of town. But as town continues to grow out there, you're smack dab in the middle of town. You're right next to the new high school. We're minutes away from the new high school they just built. 33-acre park that they just built over there. You're 5 minutes to downtown, 5 to 7 minutes to the old Mill District, 25 minutes to the Redmond Airport, 25, 30 minutes to Mount Bachelor. Everything's at your fingertips, but you have a bunch of space. It's pretty rare nowadays to find homes that have this much space surrounding them. They're just not building subdivisions like this anymore. That's what makes it so unique. And the more and more they build to the east, this is going to be more and more in the center of town, which makes it even more unique that you've kind of got this like wooded area right in the middle of town.
Yeah, and it's an underrated neighborhood. Like, not a lot of people know about it. and it was just kind of hidden there for a long time on 27th Street, and nobody would ever really go in here unless they lived in a home or owned a home in here. And once you come in here, you kind of discover its charm, and it's nice to see because the east side of town has different styles of neighborhoods, and it's getting more and more modernized, but this one seems like it was way ahead of its time when it first broke ground a long time ago.
Yeah, and for not having an HOA, like all of the bushes are like perfectly trimmed. It looks like almost like Pleasantville, like it's so well taken care of. Ryan and I are cruising right down the middle of the street. Streets are quiet. There's probably, what would you think's in here? A couple hundred homes?
Yeah, probably in that range.
Yeah, so not a massive amount, but a good amount. Some of them have large RV garages, but all of them have a good amount of privacy, and the roads are nice and wide. One thing I would say is there are no sidewalks, but again, the roads are wide. I'm assuming that a lot of people cruise around, take their dogs out for exercise along the streets here, but there are no sidewalks.
You just look at this, the landscaping of this home right here, just like perfectly manicured lawn there, and just a very charming looking home. It's in a cul-de-sac, and the homes nearby, right next to it, are in the same kind of format too. It's just really
right across the way too.
Really
just
nice on the eyes.
Super nice, yeah.
Absolutely.
We got a Packers flag over there.
There we go. Big playoff game coming up.
Yeah, this is definitely a neighborhood that I would enjoy living in. Super peaceful, quiet. I love the uniqueness style of the homes. Love the huge trees. It's wonderful. It is a pricier neighborhood for being on the east side of town, but that comes with the land and the privacy that you get here. $1 million. I mean, Ryan and I talked about it. It's the median home price for the last 2 months has been $700,000. At the peak, it was $800,000. I think that was the peak, wasn't it?
Yeah, 3 months ago.
So when you get up to that million, it's definitely well above the median price, especially on the southeast side of Bend. But again, it's such unique property because of the size. Stevens Ranch right next door, beautiful brand new homes, but they're going to be on a smaller lot size. They're going to be on a 0.1 to maybe a 0.17 of an acre lot, and they're just going to be a little tighter quarters. They're going to be some brand new beautiful homes, but you don't have this space with all the yard and all the privacy that you do in a neighborhood like this. Hence the reason the price is what it is here.
And that's something to really drive home, as any town that's kind of booming is going to continue to grow. Obviously, new developments are going to be on smaller and smaller lots. And so when people come to Bend from out of the area, or if they're already here, they tend to like the idea of looking at homes that have a little bit more space in between neighbors. And a neighborhood like this, while underrated, it does have fantastic space in between neighbors. What is that going to look like in another 10 years or 20 years after the entire area of town here that otherwise is just kind of open land is going to be developed? What is that going to do to the price point and the value of this particular neighborhood as Bend continues to grow eastward and southbound?
There's a couple other neighborhoods that sit right next to this. You have Kings Forest next door that is a very similar neighborhood, probably 10, 15 years older than this neighborhood, but the same style, bigger lots, all unique style homes. And then you have one more neighborhood just to the other side of it. I can't think of I think it's Desert Sage. I think that's the name of that one. Same thing, built about the same time as Kings Forest, bigger lots, unique style homes. So all in this kind of corridor between 15th Street and 27th Street and Ferguson and Reed Market, you get this whole neighborhood of homes that are larger lots, big old growth trees, lots of privacy. And most of the homes are gonna be in that, in Kings Forest, you might find some that are in the 700,000s up to $1 million. And then the Desert, I think it's called Desert Sage. I could be wrong about that, but you're gonna find houses in there, probably the 6s up to the millions as well. So, but I absolutely love this place. I could totally live in this neighborhood. So peaceful. I don't think we've had a car. We haven't had to deal with a car since we've been cruising through here. But yeah, I love this neighborhood.
And just yeah, give you guys an update. It's mid-January right now. It's sunny. The weather's pleasant. It's probably mid-40s, and it's great to be outside. I mean, it's not like it's just this tundra that we live in during the wintertime. We'll get moments where it feels like it, but ultimately speaking, it's pretty tolerable in the wintertime here in Bend. It's generally sunny. We're going to get snowstorms, and that will come. We don't know when, but we can anticipate probably in the next couple months we'll get a few of those. But generally speaking, this is what a day in the wintertime is going to look like outside. You can see a lot of these lawns. They're a little brown, but I mean, they're not like just completely frozen over. But the neighborhood, the makeup of it, is just well maintained, pleasant to be outside, and it's going to be in such a central location in town as the years roll by. One thing we always touch on in our videos too is discussing current median home price, right? It's $700 today. That's been kind of like the linear line that it's been at for the last year, maybe 2 years. That's been kind of like the average, it seems. But if you scale back just 5 years, 6 years, I remember there's articles in the Bulletin or on KTVZ.com, our local news outlet, that basically highlight how record home prices in Bend hit again back in 2019 at $450. Yeah, that was just 5-6 years ago. What's it going to look like in another 5 or 6 years with all the demand that Bend is experiencing right now? $700 might seem like a bargain in just 5 years, whereas in this moment, it feels like you're paying an arm and a leg for a home. But that's been kind of the theme with real estate for dozens, hundreds of years. I don't even know. It's just like whenever you're buying something, you feel like, okay, I'm paying over the moon for it. But then you look back after a couple of years and you think to yourself, okay, good decision.
Yeah, Ryan's completely right. We're growing so fast, and especially this side of town. For me personally, this is where I think one of the better investments is in Bend right now because of what they're adding over here. But yeah, it's crazy to see that growth and those home prices shoot up. I know a lot of places around the country prices really went up, but we really saw a huge difference in the last 4 or 5 years. And I mean, I remember in 2003, 2004, when we bought our first house in Bend, it was $168,000. And then the prices dropped in 2008 and then came back up. And I mean, it's just crazy to see if you go back far enough. I mean, real estate has traditionally been a pretty amazing investment, especially for me and my family. It's not investment advice by any means, but I personally think that real estate's an amazing investment. And yeah, prices are high, but I think they're kind of high everywhere around the country right now.
Totally.
So we hope you enjoyed Ponderosa Estates. Absolutely amazing neighborhood. I would personally love to live in this neighborhood. I just love the pride of ownership and how well kept everything is. I love the location. I love what's going on around it. So very amazing neighborhood. Thank you guys for watching. If you're still listening to us ramble all the way to the end here, we appreciate you guys so much. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know what you'd like to see. Send us ideas for videos. What's important to you? What do you need to know about Bend before you decide to move here? Let us know. We'll go shoot it. So thank you guys so much. We appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next video.
Thank you guys. Have a great day.